Welcome back, people. My name is Archibald III. I am back with the first review of 2021. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. And I'm glad you found this at such a poignant time during the year. And if you're already familiar with this channel, then I'm so sorry that I've been gone for so long. As you already know, life happens, situations happen, and sometimes you gotta make choices. So I made the right choice in coming back. We've got a new nice setup, somewhere that's a bit more roomy, but also at the same time a bit more accessible as opposed to the weather here in the UK. So yeah, so it's been a minute since I last done a review, and what better way to start the year than to review an artist that we have already previously spoken about. And his name is Ragz Originale, and he is back with his third project titled Woah. Now, as easy as it is to incorporate a joke using the word whoa, I'm actually going to save you guys the trouble in doing so. So, without further ado, my name is Archibald III, and this is an EP review of Ragz Originale's Woah. Cue my intro. So, if you're familiar with this channel, you would have already known that I had already reviewed one of Ragz Originale's previous EPs titled Texture X. And if you haven't, then I'll definitely pop that in the link in the... And if you haven't, I will definitely pop that in the link in the description for you guys to go back and watch. One of the most prevalent things I noticed about that EP was just how much identity Ragz Originale had when it came to producing. As a producer who's produced for many artists, for the likes of people like Skepta, Oscar Wilde Peace, and Benji Flow, you really understand that this is a guy who's very experienced in what he's done. And so when it comes to this Woah EP, nothing has really changed, but he has continued to grace us with his presence. One thing especially that I love about this EP is how much he's expanded on the skills that he's already cultivated. You can really hear in various songs how much he's focused on his production and how much more he's actually put effort into it. And that's something that I really appreciate about Ragz Originale, is that when you hear his songs, you know that it's a Ragz Originale song. And on top of that, his production is so prevalent that when you listen to some songs on this EP, it actually reminds you of various other songs that he's produced for other artists. For example, songs like Nightcap sounds like something that he's produced for Oscar Wilde Peace on his and Hers EP. And then on top of that, you have songs like Sing For You and Ring Out, which actually remind me of a song that he's produced on Skepta's Ignorance Is Bliss. And then to top it off, you finally have a song called Brush You, which literally sounds like something that he's produced for Benji Flow. And I guarantee that when you go back and listen to these respective songs, you will have, or you will hear, a moment that will remind you of these particular artists. And even when you listen to songs like Low Frequency, you can really hear the Timbaland inspired type of production, something that's similar to the Aaliyah self-titled EP, but something that he's also previously produced as well with Thin Line. Now, the reason why I say this is mainly because of the fact that Ragz Originale has had a very pivotal role in collaborating with these artists, in working and producing for these artists to the point of elevating their careers to some regard. And so even though he's someone who is coming up amongst his own name, let's not forget that his pen game as well as his beat making game is something that has always been held in high regard. And even though he's somewhat of a fresh new artist, what he's done in the background is severely poignant in the music that we listen to today. And having this EP be roughly 15 minutes with 7 tracks, so roughly about 2 minutes per track, it's a very good way for him to actually get his production game across and actually get himself across as an artist. One thing that's actually sort of detrimental, that I find anyway, is how short it is. 15 minutes for me goes by like a breeze when listening to an artist like Ragz Originale, and I honestly know that this is something that he's put time in. Roughly this time last year, he released Texture X, and so it's right again that he obviously released it at around this time. So now, I really do hope that moving forward, he is in a position where he takes a lot more time if he wants to work on something like an album or something like a further extended version of an EP that's going to be longer than 15-20 minutes. just because I know how much he's done and I know how I don't know how good of a producer he is. I think if he wants to go for a project that's a bit more than what he's already done, I really, really want him to take much more time to just hone in and cultivate the skills that he has. The replayability of this EP is absolutely insane, and I find myself listening to it a very good amount of times during each day that comes by, especially during the fact that now we're still in lockdown. We're not out yet, but it's something to really get you by if you're feeling in a low type of mood. And so for me, this is an EP that is definitely well crafted. It's an amazing way to start the year, especially for UK music. And with the addition of other artists who've released projects such as Slow Tie and Celeste, it's honestly amazing to see how much work Ragz Original has been putting in, but also at the same time, how much he's improved on his production, how much he's improved on his artistry, and how much he's just improved on his pen game too. More than ever, I appreciate the time that he puts into his music, because when you listen to it, you can tell that it's something that is very carefully crafted. And I just can't wait for him to release another project. But that's something that I'm actually not going to wait for, if that makes sense. I really want to rinse out this Woah EP and Texture X as much as possible before I'm ready to listen to another project. And to be honest, in this day and age of music, I feel like it's very important for him to take his time, which he's already been doing, and going at a pace that makes sense for him, which is all the more why I enjoy these EPs that he's done. And so if you're in search of someone to listen to or a fresh new artist, then I highly recommend Ragz Original. But also at the same time, if you're someone who just wants to listen to good music, Ragz Original is also for you. So definitely this is an EP that I've been rinsing and I will continue to be rinsing this year without a doubt. And to be honest, that's it for today. I wanted to keep it nice, short, light and simple, just to get my general thoughts over about this EP. I like it very, very, very much. And if you haven't already, check out the visuals. Fam, the visuals are crazy. Especially Ring Out. Oh my gosh. Probably one of the best visuals I've seen in the UK this year so far. For me, I'm a big fan of Ragz Original. I love his work. And yeah, I wanted to keep it lighthearted today, kind of get my feet wet, get used to the new setup, as well as just getting back in the flow again. Sometimes speaking and doing reviews like this can be a bit awkward, I guess. Mainly because I'm sitting in front of a camera and I'm talking to a camera, but I'm actually talking to you. So stop staring at me like that. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. If you like what you're watching, or if you like the review, then you already know what to do. Peace.